being in the present moment is often painful. There's often why we rush past the present moment. Let me ask you, if you don't mind, I'm just going to dig a little bit, right? So she's been doing her own therapy. I know she had types of trauma in the past or perceived trauma. So
Yep.
has she been opening about that trauma? Has she been opening about her pains? And then you staying in the present moment of she doesn't feel good. She's having pain. I'd love to take the pain away from her, but I know I can't fix it. So I'm just going to breathe that through me. Talk with us more about that.
She's definitely been more open and discussing certain things about her past and even what she's going through in the present. Because, like I said, I would always I don't know if it was being judgmental, but I wouldn't kind of be there for her. If she was in bad moods, I'd do the normal nice guy stuff of thinking that she's in a bad mood and I'm the reason she's in a bad mood. So I have to try and fix it. And so I've let her be in a bad mood and looking at it as the observer of her feelings, being like, I wonder why she's feeling that way right now. I wonder what she's going through, and then I'll ask her like, hey, is there anything you're going through, like, and just as an observer, not asking for anything for myself, but to try and figure out like if there's something we can both do to make things better, not just for me to make my feelings better, but for our relationship to go in the direction that we want it. And one thing that I've tried to implement that I know you talk a lot about it on calls is have like a weekly kind of coffee to talk about how you're feeling in the relationship with good points, bad points. So or trying to be more open and honest and talking about things like that.
So Saturday morning coffee doesn't mean you bring negativity and something to complain about. It also doesn't mean that you hummingbird and ask her, is everything okay? Is anything wrong? But what you do in Saturday morning coffee is it's an intimate time where you're asking her about something emotional. You're asking her non-logical questions. So it could just be a great 30 minutes or 1 hour or whatever, 5 minutes of you have coffee together and you're not speaking about anything logically. You're not bringing up to dos or taxes or the dishes or anything like that. It's not a complaint time. It's a time when you're attempting to bloom her a bit. And when she starts to share, then you can ask about something deeper and emotional, right? And if she's closed down, you can lovingly insist, I want you to open to me, share with me about, and then you need to have a great emotional question. It's not a logical therapy session that you're trying to do every Saturday. It's 5 minutes or 30 minutes or an hour of connecting over coffee and asking her to bloom emotionally through great questions. If you don't mind me asking, buddy, what have been some of the pitfalls or what's been good about those Saturday morning coffees? Like how are you doing that?
I know, like, for myself, when I start being vulnerable and asking the vulnerable questions, at times, like, I can feel in my body, I freeze up and try to push myself through it because I've never been one to really want to talk too openly, like, about certain things or just have that vulnerability. But doing it, like, once you're done, you always feel like it was good and it was much better. And then you're like, why did I even think that way in the first place? Like, why did my body feel these feelings? It feels like it's the old brain patterns just like making you feel that way. And it's not even what's happening there. Every week it's like kind of get nervous about it, and then you talk about certain things, and then afterwards, it wasn't that big of a deal. It's like I making much more out of it than it really had to be. So
Yeah.
that's how I usually feel. So I'm working on those feelings, just feeling it and kind of trying to not push through, but like feeling it and doing it anyway.
Hell yeah, that's characteristic of a king in the world, and being able to breathe tension. This has been a theme of this whole call, is the feelings that you have, the tension that you feel, to breathe them through and it not sway you. And your woman wants to feel you in a masculine way, be able to do that. Thanks for coming in, man. Good to see you.